Hello. Hello. I don't know why I'm trying to match the thumbnail poses um, lately, but hey, there we are. Anyway, we're back once again, and yes, I have finally got myself Fire Emblem Three Houses on my Switch. Funny story, the day this came out, I was working, but I always planned to go down to my local game and... Oh, nobody's here. Okay. Oh, the agony of being an underground YouTuber. Well, I guess I'll just sit here and twiddle my thumbs until people show up. Any second now. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Camera down a bit. Myself center stage. And all seems to be good. Good. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Oh, hooray, Chibi Protector's here. Hooray, people are here. Hooray. Good, I was getting so lonely being here by my lonesome, with nobody here to hear me make funny jokes. I was going to cry myself to sleep about the fall of my YouTube channel. So yeah, as the thumbnail suggests, I finally got Fire Emblem Three Houses. As people who are watching the archive of this will know, I was explaining. Well, I started telling a story about me in this game, but then I noticed nobody was here to hear it, so I started crying. Not really, but nearly. Anyway, Three Houses. Yeah, it came out on a day I was working, but I'd always planned to go down to my local game afterwards and pick it up. Get down there only to find it is sold out. I'm just like, damn. But what do you expect on launch day, eh? But no, I went down again today and I got it, and they had extras of the special. Oh, let me get it out. The special coin you get for pre-ordering the game. I mean, I didn't pre-order it, but they had spares, so they let me have one. So I wasn't going to object. Hello, Afro Otaku's here. That's good. Good, people are here. I'm happy. But yeah, Three Houses. I've only done one instance in it so far because there's a lot of plot it likes to get out of the way to introduce you to your potential partners. Actually, that is one thing. Like, whereas Lily, I don't know. I think she might be asleep somewhere because it's a nice day today. No, she hasn't brought any mice recently. She's been good lately, although she's still on probation. But she's been very good lately, so happy for her. But anyway, Three Houses. I knew basically nothing about this game going in. Like, literally, I had not watched any trailers for it. I had not kept up with any of the news for it. I knew basically nothing. Nothing about this game. So yeah, I'm going in a complete blank. But in a way, that's kind of a plus. The only thing I knew about the game was the controversy surrounding Kerbefer, originally voicing the main character, but now he's not because, well, of the controversy surrounding him, which, while it was sad to hear, I can't really say I'm too surprised because, believe it or not, I've actually been following Kerbefer since his very early years, his teenage years. I'm only a couple of years younger than he is, so I was probably in my early teen years myself. And he always did have a bit of a temper, but I always chalked that up to teen angst. But well, apparently it was more than that. So, but he has apologized for his actions, and hopefully he'll work to better himself. So, there's that at least. So, what's the deal with Kerbefer? It basically, well, the reason he was taken off of Three Houses was because he revealed that he was the voice of the main character before he was legally allowed to do so, which that would be fair enough in any case. But it has been revealed that he has been quite aggressive towards people in the past, has quite an aggressive attitude towards people. among other things. So yeah, but he has made a public apology, and like I say, hopefully he's working to better himself. So hopefully he will. Anyway, might as well start the lunch portion of this with the bog standard banana. But yeah, regardless of all that, I'm enjoying the game so far. And one interesting thing I noticed is that it's only your player character that can actually get an S rank in relationships with units. So it's only your unit that can actually have a waifu, a husbando, or whatever. And yeah, only yours can. And as far as I know, there aren't any child units, which I kind of understand where they're coming from. They're trying to make more the actual, tactical RPG bit the focus of it, and not the blinking waifu system. But they've still got a system in there for your unit, so they're trying to meet old and new fans halfway, I think. And personally, I'm all for that idea because Fire Emblem is a tactical RPG. It's not a waifu simulator. If you want a waifu simulator, you go play a visual novel. It is meant to be about the strategy game. YouTube is giving me a hard time when I try and watch the stream. Bad YouTube! Don't you give Chibi a hard time and watch me in, oh my gosh, 144p. I must be a blob of pixels. I must look like a 8-bit game. My phone just buzzed. The deal from Domino's. Can't really afford Domino's at the moment, so. But yeah, Three Houses, it's all right so far, even though the game has made me a teacher, or rather a professor at an academy, but I'm essentially a teacher. Because it's brilliant how that happens as well. You assist the three heads of houses in one battle, and you're brought to this academy, and all of a sudden, just because of that, you're all of a sudden expected to be a professor, like with no regard as to whether you are qualified to be said professor, whether you'll be able to teach these students properly or not. No, you're just a professor because you helped them in battle. You have no idea whether I'm fully qualified or not. So I'm just like an actual teacher then. And of course, the big boobed flirty character is also a teacher there. I would be trying to pursue the S rank with her, but although she is hilarious because she's extremely direct. Like, there's a point where you can visit her in the infirmary because she's also the school doctor. I was going to say nurse, but that is unfair gender appropriation. I apologize. She's the school doctor. And like when you first visit her, she said, she's like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you to be so direct. I thought we'd have time to flirt more in the hallways. Well, then lock the door." I'm just like, okay. Your character doesn't, though, because you're meant to be too innocent to understand what she's insinuating. But the best part about that is, in English, she's voiced by Veronica Taylor. The original English voice of Ash Ketchum. By the way, Three Houses KHF, you wuss. You wuss. Everybody knows when a woman says lock the door, you freaking lock the door. Anyway, this is going creepy places. Anyway, in other news, I got a I probably just saw the title there. Jerry Loot. Joe's right, I am a sex pest. Also have some grapes on the side. No special treats for lunch today. It's literally just the usual fruit and a sandwich. So, and anyways, did you see my replies to my tweet? Did I see how it replies to my tweet? No, I didn't, because I chose to ignore you. Oh, about the whole thing with the comic books being for children thing. Yeah. So for those who didn't see my Twitter, like, I remembered your sex being your sex pest. Yeah, apparently so. Anyway, for those who didn't see it on Twitter, basically, I remembered like a while ago. I think this was back on my old channel. I got into this debate with some weeb about like it was the core of it was getting upset that anime, like certain anime, don't adapt a manga one for one. Which in some cases you just can't, because some things don't translate from just a single still image to animation. But my argument was, well, with media adapted from Western comic books, very rarely do they follow them one for one, and nobody seems to complain there. So why should this be different? And their counter argument was that Western comics were for children, and my counter argument to that is always Deadpool. I'm like, if you think Western comics are for children, you have not read Deadpool. Deadpool would always be my go-to argument for that. And besides which, there are manga for children. There are such things as manga for children, just saying. Yes, a large part of the ones we get in the West are ones aimed towards a teenage audience or above, but there are quite a lot of them for children in Japan. Well, you're going to say there's no anime for children either. What? So things like Pokemon, Digimon, Cardcaptor Sakura, those aren't for children, are they? But I suppose it's that mentality when you're going through your weeb years, because a lot of these people were teenagers back then. I was as well. I suppose it's that mentality, oh, I have to be different. Oh, cartoons are too normal. No, I'm going for my edgy anime. That makes me different. That makes me unique, because this is something wholly unique to me. It's that kind of mentality. But yeah, you think Western comics are for children, you need to read Deadpool. Because Deadpool is not for kids. Anyway, yeah, in terms of I've been staying away from Twitter. It stresses me out. Well, I can understand that, especially when I constantly see people talk to like sides. Yeah, that's where Twitter is a double-edged sword. Unfortunately, is that a lot of closed-door things are brought to the public, and that's where it is a double-edged sword. I do admit. Can't pretend I haven't posted things on there that I regret, but by and large, I try to keep my private life private on there. So, anyway, moving on to more positive things. In terms of new additions to my nerdiness, a very, 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 very large package. That sounded dirtier than I wanted it to. Arrived for me the other day, and in it contained the rewards from the first project I've ever supported on Kickstarter, which was Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. What this basically is, this is a tabletop strategy game. Well, sort of. Pseudo tabletop strategy game. I wouldn't say it's as in depth as something like Risk or something, but it's a Power Rangers like pseudo strategy, pseudo role playing, like pseudo strategy, pseudo role playing, like tabletop board game thing that had a successful Kickstarter, which I helped to fund, and yeah, my my rewards for my support arrived just a couple of days ago. I was very interested in this project. It looked like a very fun game, and I haven't had the chance to play it with anybody yet, but hopefully at some point in the future I will. So I pledged the highest donation amount. I did the highest tier of awards. So along with the core game, I also got three. There's 3 expansions worth of extras in this thing. This is freaking massive. There's like expansions that include like Lord Zed, the White and Green Rangers, or the White and Green Ranger. They were the same guy. There's 3 boxes worth of expansion in there. I also got this is what drew me into the highest reward tier. It's the Shattered Grid expansion, which, as you can see, it introduces Lord Draken as a boss character, and also has the Hyperforce Rangers in. That's really that is what drew me in. It's just the inclusion of Shattered Grid and Hyperforce. So I've got that expansion. I also got this lovely Megazord figurine for the core game, because obviously kind of Power Rangers out the Megazord, and also got a statue of Cyclopsis, the evil Warzord from the 2-parter Doomsday, which was originally meant to be the finale, but it was not. It was not because Power Rangers proved so popular that Saban decided to continue it. Cyclopsis in the original Sentai was also the final boss. So there's your trivia for today. And finally just got some extra dice as well, some actual coloured dice to go along with the different Ranger colours. So that's good. So yeah, I got a lot there, and I am very, very happy to have supported this game, and hopefully I can actually get a game of this going soon. Maybe I'll even do a video on it. We'll see. But I have said to people I've told about it, one rule: if you're going to play with me, I am the Pink Ranger. I'm always the Pink Ranger. I will play as the Pink Ranger. Nobody else plays the Pink Ranger but me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. Real men wear pink. Yeah, you're damn right. I've been reading the instructions as well. It seems like a very very simple game to understand. Though it does require teamwork, obviously, being a Power Rangers game. But with some of my friends, I'm just like, teamwork is not our strong suit. Afrosaki, you've got to stop trying to seek attention in the chat on my streams, please. It's all right. Tell us what you got from Target. Well, that's why I was in the middle of talking, but that fancy French store. I don't think I. Are we talking about 2 different things? I don't know. I've got Mirai, Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel. Cool. Cool. Well, all very good movies. I haven't seen Mirai, but I hear it's good, so I hope you enjoy it. Anyway. Two Captain Marvels. He means Captain Marvel and Shazam, because Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel, but due to legal reasons, the name had to be changed. And that of course was a matter that was settled in courts years ago. And when the two movies were coming out, that led to fanboys fighting about it, even though that it was a matter that was settled years ago. Uh, there's tons of videos on the topic if you're interested to find out. I only know the bare basics of it. Um, oh yeah, I've got my standard all day breakfast sandwich. Like I say, I don't have anything fancy for my lunch today, but at least we're able to go live and talk about stuff. When don't they fight? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, why has I mean, pop culture's always had its slightly vicious side, but why has it become so angry in the modern day? It's like, what? Why is there so much bitterness, so much hatred over stuff that actually, when you really look at it, doesn't matter? I mean, I suppose a lot of them are pissed off at the stuff that does matter, but I don't think this is what you should be taking your anger out on, because this is the stuff you use to escape from the stuff that matters. It's like, guys, this is meant to be entertainment at the end of the day. It's meant to, well, entertain you, make you happy. Um, you know, it's like, why does there have to be such hostilities? It's too much fighting going on in the world as it is. You can't, without bringing, all the extra fighting into, again, stuff that really doesn't matter. And I mean, yeah, I used to do it as well. I'm not pretending I didn't. I used to do it as well. I am guilty of it myself, but I've at least come to realize, what's really important in life, and um, realize that I was stupid for wasting all that emotion, all that energy on stuff that at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. But what can you do? Uh, there's this mentality to look out for number one without any regard for anyone else. If anyone doesn't agree with you, that means they hate you, yeah. And they can't have any say, well, yeah, it's that mentality of only my opinion matters, which seems to be a prevalent thing on the internet. I think everybody, I think the whole world could stand to listen to Powerline in the Goofy movie, the song at the end, Eye to Eye, talking about how if we listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we're never truly far apart. I think the whole world could stand to learn a thing or two from that song. It's too much negativity in the world at the moment. Let's all move to Pluto. So I nicked that one from Chippy Jissy, I do admit. Speaking of Goofy, he's going to be in the new DuckTales. Yeah, I'm really behind on the new DuckTales. Actually, I was watching it for a while, but then I kind of for various reasons fell out of watching it. But I hear it gets really good. And I mean, it started off really good, so yeah, I need to watch all of that. It's good, so good. Yeah, I hear it's good. I mean, you got David Tennant voicing Scrooge McDuck, so how can that not be good? I mean, obviously nobody will truly replace Alan Young as the voice of Scrooge McDuck. But I think if you're going to reboot the series with and you can't have him there for obvious reasons. I think David Tennant was a very good choice for the replacement. We got Chibi Potato fangirling out over the reboot. Yeah, I need to watch it at some point. It's apparently how you do a reboot right. So you could learn a thing or two from that. The ironically named reboot, The Guardian Code. I hate The Guardian Code so much. So much. Especially because I know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff which basically amounted to the guy leading the reboot did it the horrible way he did it just because people told him not to. So he did it. So he basically admitted he did it to be a douchebag. So it's just as a fan of the original reboot, I hate the Guardian Code so much. I mean, look, I'm getting angry now over something that at the end of the day really doesn't matter, but I'm more doing it for theatrical effect because it makes the stream more interesting. Oh yeah, I heard about that. The voice actress of Minnie Mouse and the original voice of Huey, Dewey, and Louie passed away. So may she rest in peace. That is, I know she did a couple of characters in The Simpsons as well. That's really sad. It's really sad to hear. She was 75, wasn't she? Which, while that is getting on in years, that's not like old. Lucy Taylor, thank you. I was struggling to remember her name. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Anyway, I've got a Sprite here. I'm kicking back with a cold one. I'm not sponsored by Sprite, but I love Sprite. But yeah, that is really sad. What was I going to say? I mean, I'd say I'd watch Game Grumps' famous Mickey Mousecapade episode in tribute, but that probably would be a bit uncouth because there's this ongoing joke of Aaron calling Minnie a bitch in it, so I'd probably be a bit out of order. Which, by the way, I've seen plenty of that video came out 6 years ago. I have since then seen some outstanding comedy performances with well-crafted, well-put-together jokes that make sure that they not only leave an impact in the moment, but will be remembered as being funny for years down the line, and that is a true success in comedy. And yet the one thing I always watch to cheer me up, Mickey Mouse, voiced of all, is that Game Grumps episode of Mickey Mouse, because it's just, I don't know, it's just, I think it's the charm of it alone is that Aaron doing that fake AVGN voice and Dan just laughing hysterically feces related jokes. It's just, there's just such a charm to it. By the way, in Ireland, nicknames for genitalia are your Mickey and your Minnie. You learn something new at KHF every day. I'm being of Irish heritage. I know these things, so. Oh gosh, now I've started it in the chat. That must mean the Irish think that Disney is pure porno. No, obviously they're called that in reference to Mickey and Minnie. uh, that said, I thought what a funny moment when Afro Otaku said soda is my alcohol, and I thought you said has minor alcohol. Oh yeah. That's from years ago. I misheard him. And I thought he said soda has minor alcohol. I was like, sincerely hope not, but it would explain how I get drunk off of Coca-Cola. Uh, uh, Normally Lily can hear me talking, shows up about now, but then again, we did have a knock at the door and it freaked her out um, a minute ago, so she's probably hiding away somewhere. Well, I love that cat, but she's such a little coward. She's such a scaredy cat. And by the way, this I don't know what they've done with this all day breakfast sandwich, but this is I've always liked them, but this one in particular is very nice. And yes, that was a tiny burp you just heard. They made it more fancy, yeah. Yes, I can definitely taste traces of LSD in there. That's probably what's helping. Whoa. That would explain a lot about me. There's a donut shop in my town with a cream-filled donut that's literally called the Quantum Balls. That is brilliant. Oh. Oh. I want some cream in me cock and balls. Sorry. Sorry, it was begging to be said. It seems shaped like a. Right, I went to I actually went to a work due yesterday to a round of crazy golf or mini golf, as you know it in the States, which was a lot of fun. We had a good laugh. But there was one of the holes, like the way to get down to the hole, it was across this across this like fake rocky outcrop, sort of like a Pride Rock sort of thing. Outcrop, yeah. So this rocky outcrop, which had two like large stones standing next to it, and I'm like, I'm not the only one who sees that as a rocky dick, am I? I'm not the only one who sees a rock penis there, am I? Do I just have a filthy mind? I mean, I thought people bring children to this place. I'm like, surely that is not an accident. Pardon me. It's the Sprite. Somebody knew exactly what they were doing there. That did not happen by accident. Somebody was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna get away with this. I'm gonna make a rock penis on this course. Oh, actually, speaking of things that happened yesterday, I finally got my hotels for Japan booked in. So that's a plus. So yeah, I'm definitely going there and going to meet my nieces. So I really can't wait for that. First couple of days there, I'm staying in Kyoto because that's where my sister is. I'll obviously be meeting my nieces and doing a lot of things around the Kyoto and possibly Osaka area because I'm flying into Osaka and then going to Kyoto. But anyway, yeah, so I'll be staying in Kyoto for the first few days, then spending the weekend that I'm there in Akihabara in Tokyo because, well, when you're a nerd, you have to stay in Akihabara in Tokyo. It's just a rule. So I'll be staying there for 3 days, and then I'm coming back to the same hotel in Kyoto that I stayed in previously. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Because, yeah, while I'm going out there to meet my nieces, this is also my holiday for the year. So, yeah, it should be fun. Should be a good time. I will see about doing video while I'm there, but, well, we'll just have to see what happens. Sounds like a really good holiday. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. If I go to Osaka, I have to try okonomiyaki and takoyaki. I did try takoyaki last time I was over there, and there used to be a place in London that did really good takoyaki as well. But to have the genuine Osakan takoyaki, that would be amazing. And I know Universal Studios Japan is in Osaka, and I know that has a Nintendo Land to it, so I'll definitely be going there. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a really good time. Got my flights booked, got my hotels booked. That's not to say my sister didn't offer to let me to stay with them, which I obviously really appreciate. But whenever when I go away, I prefer to have my own space, like in a hotel room. So yeah, I prefer to have my own space when I go away because I feel like I can do more things under my own power that way. And, you know, while I'm very appreciative to the offer, yeah, I just prefer to have that space. And besides which, she's got 2 little ones to take care of, so I don't want to be imposing too much. But yeah, no, this is becoming more real now. All I need now to really sort out is a travel pass so I can get the Shinkansen, the bullet train, to and from places. Because if I'm going to Tokyo, especially, I need to be able to take that, and that works for most Japanese railway trains. So it'll make it easier to get around. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the trip. It's going to be fun on the button. Damn it! But I have done it once. You all saw it. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, Japan, can't wait. Can't wait. I highly doubt I'll be able to do a lunch with KHF when I'm over there. Because time zone differences make it difficult enough to do it here. So in Japan, I'm radiating light as I think of Japan. So to do it in Japan, I think would be damn near impossible. Bullet train immediately comes train to Busan type scenario. I hope not. The bullet train, though, I've been on that before. It is so cool. It is so cool. Like, not only is it like just a really lovely, well-kept train, but you know, it's in Japan. They do try and keep everything well kept. It like the seats in it. If you're traveling like with 4 people at a time, like, you know, obviously you have 2 seats, like 2 seats. You know how seats on trains go. You've got 2 seats and 2 seats in front of them and all that, but you can actually rotate the seats that are in front of them around so you can be facing each other. So if you're traveling with like 4 people at a time, a big group, you can actually rotate the seats around and talk to each other, which that alone to me, it makes it all worthwhile. Like the pardon me, the expense to go. It's just for the rotating chairs, but like, yeah, it is so nice. It's so cool, and you see so much of the Japanese countryside. It is amazing. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to going back to Japan. I think this is going to be a really good trip. Like I say, I'll see if I can get video done, but it all depends. All depends what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll try and get something done. And I only found out a couple of days ago because I don't keep up with any sort of sports knowledge, but I found out that I'm going to be over there when the Rugby World Cup is on. So means there's probably going to be a lot of gaijin about and a lot of people thinking I'm there for the Rugby World Cup. So don't know how much that's going to affect my journey. Probably not by much. That is going to lead to, if I run into any fellow gaijin, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're here for the Rugby World Cup." No. I was going to say, although for the flights over there, right? When I last went to Japan, on my flight back, about like I'd flown out of Japan. I'd gone to Shanghai Airport, which is where my connecting flight was. Which, by the way, don't ever go to Shanghai Airport. It's the worst airport ever. But like, I was officially on my plane back to England, and this was about 2 or so hours into the flight, and this is an 18-hour flight, keep in mind. I suddenly came across really, really sweaty, like really like breaking out in a cold sweat, feeling just horrible, just like I was going to throw up at any moment. I started shivering. Turns out I had got a bad case of tonsillitis on the flight back. When you're 2 hours into an 18-hour flight, that is not pleasant. And I'm not able to sleep on planes either. I am terrible at trying to fall asleep on planes. So, and knowing that there's nowhere for me to go, that was not fun. That is not fun. And obviously they weren't really that, it's a plane, they're not equipped to handle someone with tonsillitis. So that was one of the worst experiences I've had to go through. So when I'm flying out there and when flying back from there again, I'm taking no chances. I'm doing the thing they do. I'm wearing all those surgical masks that you'll often see Japanese people wear to fight off germs and stuff. Like, I don't care if I'm being overcautious. I don't care if this is an overreaction. I am not taking any chances. I'm not going through that again. That was one of the worst experiences of my life. So I am not going through that again. I don't care if I look weird walking around with a surgical mask on. I am not taking any chances. I'm just thankful this time I don't have a changeover in Shanghai. I don't even have a changeover in China this time. Although I hear Hong Kong airport's really nice. But don't have a changeover in Shanghai airport. It is the worst airport ever. But this time a changeover is in South Korea. Actually, it's in Seoul. I have a changeover there and then head out to Japan. So hopefully that'll be a lot better than my experience of Shanghai Airport, because that is a terrible airport. Oh, by the way, this was a humbling experience actually. On my flight back, when I had my changeover in Shanghai, on my flight back from Japan during my changeover in Shanghai, as we were getting off the plane, all the clearly foreign people were pulled aside. In other words, all the white people were pulled aside for extra security checks, and that was probably the most thorough security check that I've ever had. I was like, mate, I haven't even cooked your dinner yet. Calm down. That was a humbling experience actually, because it gave me some insight into what it must be like for people of Middle Eastern descent going on planes now. Like all those, all the paranoia and bigotry there is towards those kinds of people now. That was a really humbling experience. I'm like, wow, I have an all new respect for those kinds of people and what they have to go through. In fact, when you go away to an Asian country where you are the racial minority, it is a humbling experience because it gives you a better understanding of what it's like to be the racial minority and feeling like you're a gaijin, like you're an outsider just because the color of your skin is different. Yeah, it's a really humbling experience and gives me a better insight into what that actually feels like. So yeah, look at me going into serious topics now. I had to wear one of those, I assume you mean surgical masks. I was sick with the flu. I think it's overkill, but honestly, I don't care going back to Japan because I'm not taking any chances. I don't want to go through the tonsillitis battle again. I remember a friend of mine saying, a friend of mine said only white people could be racist because it's based on who is in power. That's ridiculous. Racism is a form of bigotry towards somebody based on their racial descent. There's a line in the song "Everyone's a Little Bit Racist" from Avenue Q, which specifically says bigotry has never been exclusively white. It's true. But anyway, I don't want to get into a serious political debate on one of my live streams. Don't want to pull a Jontron here. When I was in Japan, a guy specifically, like, I think I dropped something and I was picking it up, and I specifically heard a guy say "Baka Gaijin" as he went by me, and I was like, "Hey, I know what that means, mate. I know what you just called me." So I know what it's like to go through that. But that's not to say everybody like that was like that. That was just one person on one instant. Most people over there are really nice. I still remember one guy dropped his phone. This salary man, he dropped his phone and he was very clearly drunk. Because I picked up his phone and handed it back to me, and he's thanking me in Japanese, and I speak basically no Japanese, but like he's saying it in such clearly slurred words and stuff, but just like really joyfully, obviously thanking me for what I'm done. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, mate. Yeah, I'm not from around here, but you're welcome. No problem. That was fun. The best thing that ever happened, the best thing that happened last time I was in Japan was last time I was in Kyoto, actually, and we were up Kyoto Tower, which if you ever go to Kyoto, do that. It's amazing. It's like this massive it's one of those massive spire things where you go up and then you have a view of just the whole area. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Do it. It's great. But there were a bunch of school kids up there, and don't get me wrong, they were very well behaved. That they were good school kids. They weren't causing a ruckus or anything, which is more than I could say for English children. But anyway, and as we were getting ready to go in the lift back down, like this lift was jam packed of school kids, right? Jam packed. You could like literally not fit another another child or even let alone an adult in there. It was completely packed. But there was this, and like I say, literally couldn't fit another kid in there, which became apparent when one kid couldn't get in. Just one student who, while he hadn't been disruptive, I did get the sense he was kind of starting to piss off his teacher. But you know, don't have anything to say about that. But anyway, I knew he was starting to piss off his teacher. He couldn't get in the lift, and from the bits and bites of Japanese I do understand, I got the sense that he was saying, like, "Sensei, I can't fit in there. I'm going to have to wait here with you." And so his teacher puts his hand on his back and is just gently walking him across, like, "Yeah, no, you can. Come on, you can get in there. You just have to squeeze a little bit." Like, he's gently bringing him along, gets the lift door and just shoves him in there, like really good, just like, "Yeah, come on, shove." Shoves him in there. It probably shoves him in there, and all the students are just like, "Oh, Sensei just pushed him in here," and they're like in shock, and like everybody's afraid to do anything, and then just one kid just shuffles along, presses the button for the lift to go down, and then the teacher's expression like told the entire story, because even someone who can't read facial expressions knew exactly what he was thinking. Just like, "Oh, thank God, 5 minutes to myself." Oh. He's just like, just breathes a sigh of relief. And then when the lift came back up, when the elevator came back up and it was time to get in, he was like gesturing for everybody else to go in before him. He's like, go on, it's fine, I don't mind, go on." And I'm trying my hardest not to laugh, because when you're in Japan, you can't laugh at, like, really loudly, like when you're in a public space or like in a lift or anything. So I'm seeing what's happened. I'm trying my hardest not to crack up after what I've just seen. I'm just standing like, everybody else is just standing there completely straight faced, and I'm just like, that was the highlight of the whole trip for me. Oh. Oh, you're not much, Chibi Potato. Don't say that about yourself. But yeah, that was oh, that was a hilarious moment on that trip. Highly doubt I'll ever see something like that again when I'm over there, but hey, you never know. All right, got my last 2 grapes here. Well, last 3 grapes, actually. So my lunch portion is nearly done. So after I got off of after I got out of the lift and got out of Kyoto Tower and subsequently found a nice quiet spot to laugh what had happened out of my system, there was a building nearby which at the time Resurrection F, or Resurrection of F, as it was known in Japan, the Dragon Ball Z film Resurrection F was coming out fairly soon, and there was this building. It had a giant statue of Shenron, the dragon, like hanging from its ceiling, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting a selfie with him. I am getting a selfie with this guy. I've got an actual life-size Shenron above me. Yes, please." So that was awesome. So yeah, like, had a really fun time last time I was in Japan. So I cannot wait to go again. Did I make my wish? I doubt it will come true. You don't want to know what my wish would be? That's a private thing. I'm not going to tell any of you. My wish would be would not be dissimilar to the first ever wish that was made on that show. But anyway, oh gosh. Yes, I have issues. I do admit it. Is it Aqua's panties? Wait, which Aqua? Because for one of them, they don't exist. So, but by the way, why would I want? If it's the Konosuba one, why would I want underwear from Donald Duck? That's disgusting. Ugh. Now, Darkness, on the other hand, although knowing her, she'd she'd let me steal them from her. But anyway, sorry. Ever since Aqua is Donald Duck meme, I can't ever look at the character the same way again. I wish you knew how a way to clip certain parts of streams. So, like how Twitch does it. Why have I said something that has upset you? Actually, going back to Aqua for a second, in Three Houses, there's this character who's obviously meant to be a goddess of sorts because she exists in some mystical realm and has power over time. But she's also severely lazy and is like, she's like, oh, I'm going to take a nap now. What is it with this trope in Japanese media of having lazy goddesses? This seems to have become more prevalent in recent times. I'm like, what is this trope that you need to have a goddess who's lazy at her job? Because goddesses. And the only goddess I'm interested in now is Palutena. I am disgusting. I know. Anyway, we're. Oh, and oh yes, and okay, no, that was dirtier than I wanted it to be, but I did want it to be dirty, so anyway. Oh gosh, I have issues, I have problems. These streams, like, I started off as just a way to interact with the fans and do live Q&As, but really all this has turned into is bringing out this horrible side of me. This dark side of me that says horrible things that even I do not understand. It's made me embrace the dark side. This is why I think of Big E from WWE's Big E. I always think of him as being my soul brother because, like, I see him on social media and stuff, and we actually do share a very similar sense of humor. So, oh gosh, I like the New Day in general. I would just love to hang out with those guys because they seem like they're such fun. But Big E in particular, I think him and I would get along because we have very similar senses of humor. Oh, and one thing I am going to be on the lookout for while I'm in Japan is is a body pillow. Not just any body pillow, because those will be a dime a dozen in Japan. No, I'm looking out for a body pillow of Deku's mum from Konosuba. I'm looking for a body pillow of Mama Midoriya. And I don't mean flashback Mama Midoriya, I mean current Mama Midoriya. I mean cuddly Mama Midoriya. I failed to find one at Comic-Con. I am going to find one in Japan. I'm going to bring it with me on the plane. When I put it through the scanners, just be like, you be careful of that. That's my precious treasure. Did I say Deku's mom from Konosuba? I meant My Hero Academia. Did I say Konosuba? Fudge. Oh, fuck. I meant you knew what I meant. You knew what I meant. That's a rude gesture, by the way, in the UK. It's hinted. Oh, that woman makes me hint. That woman makes me hint. Yeah, any relationship status is only ever hinted in it's all record now, Chief. Yeah, but you knew what I meant. Well, it's all of your fault. You were talking about Konosuba earlier. Konosuba My Hero Academia crossover. That would be disastrous. Make the fan fiction happen. But anyway, yeah, Mama Midori makes me hint because all relationships in Konosuba are hinted, apparently, because we don't want to upset the shippers. We never want to upset the shippers. I've got the scars to prove it, both literal and metaphorical. My Hero Academia, you knew what I meant. I said it again, didn't I? I said Konosuba when I... Oh, all right, I need to end the stream now because I'm just making an idiot out of myself now. I don't know what anime is or what anymore. Oh, you remember Agumon from Pokemon? You remember Pikachu and Digimon? Only now making idiots. Bakugo and a frog. Well, that's a new ship in the... Yeah, don't say Bakugo and a frog, because there is a frog in My Hero Academia. That probably already is a ship anyway. Oh gosh, yeah, no, I think I need to bring things to an end, so and go play some Supersonic Brothers or something. Right, I'm ending the stream here. I've made enough of an idiot out of myself. I'll hopefully see everybody next week. We'll see what happens. Bye-bye, everybody.